You become magnetic by becoming who you are, not who someone else thinks you should be. So there's no trying to be magnetic, right? You just are or you aren't. If you're trying to be palatable, digestible, and acceptable to the world, chances are you're not authentically connecting to your values as a creative and embodying them. Because the truth is, you don't need to become more strategic. You don't need to follow someone else's framework to becoming successful, magnetic, abundant, all that bullshit. You just need to become you. Because your magnetism isn't in what you do. It's how you do. It's the presence that you embody that is so connected to your core values that life has no chance or no choice but to connect you and your work and your message with the people who need it most. And you can bet your sweet cheeks that you will experience judgment. You will ruffle feathers and you'll be misunderstood. But it's your nervous system capacity to stay rooted in yourself, in the version of you that you know you can be, that will determine how magnetic, abundant, and successful you become. So by the end of this, you will be resourced with a roadmap to connect to what your authentic magnetic energy is, know why it gets blocked for you, how to root in your core values and your truth, and how to expand your capacity in your nervous system to stay connected with yourself, even in the face of fear, judgment, you name it. So, my name's Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer, and I help creatives get into their body, be connected to themselves, and give from that place of depth, right? So, I just want to open that magnetism is about staying rooted in who the fuck you are. Not who someone else thinks you should be, not who you thought you should be, not who your 15-year-old self dreamed up that you should be. It's about being who you are authentically without any labels, identities, or anything. It's not about force or output, it's about just being coherent. Aligned mind, body, and soul, right? The most magnetic people are the people who are most inwardly congruent. Real magnetism comes online when your nervous system is safe enough to express your full truth without the performative metrics, without the need for validation, without the need for acceptance or a pat on the back. Magnetism is that quality where someone is so connected to themselves, they don't need you to agree, they don't need you to accept them, they just are. You know? Their presence. When you're magnetic, you are presence. And audiences, people, lovers, family, they feel presence, you know? They trust coherence and alignment. And you can bet your sweet cheeks that people can feel when you are not coherent, when you're out of alignment, when you're not in integrity. Because magnetism doesn't live there, right? So where is your creativity out of alignment, out of integrity in your core values? And on the flip side, know that creativity becomes magnetic when it's expressed from truth, not just tactics or aesthetics, which are the traps of this disembodied society, right? It's not about being seen by everyone, it's about being felt by yourself, which is going to naturally allow you to be felt by the right people. So all the time, people ask me, like, how do I be this radically multi-passionate and open version of myself and grow an audience, build a business, resonate with the right people? And the part of you that is asking that question is the part of you that is limiting yourself. Because the part of you that doubts that there are people, that there aren't people out there who will benefit from exactly what you have to offer at this snapshot in your life, that's the part of you that you need to I don't want to say transfigure through, that's the word. You don't need to get over it, you don't need to shift out of it, you don't need to change it. You need to just transfigure yourself, let yourself evolve with honor and love through that limitation so that the very essence of how you're relating to yourself no longer includes that limitation, right? So let's talk about where magnetism gets blocked. It's in your nervous system. When our nervous system is dysregulated, that leads us to do all sorts of things that are not favorable for our creative expression. We self-abandon, we delude ourselves, we internalize these shoulds, so we start people-pleasing and we get concerned about performance over presence, and so our creativity becomes dull. And it's a shame, you know, because we try to control the perception of others and how they're going to view our work instead of just owning our presence in our desire. So you don't feel magnetic because you don't feel safe being seen as you are. And I want to reframe, it's not, this is double negative, it's not that you're not magnetic. It's just that the version of yourself that you currently are operating as doesn't trust that it's safe to be authentically you. You are already magnetic, but there's a filter on top of it that is limiting, dimming, dulling. And so the goal rather is to let more of that magnetism through. So we create those channels by rooting in our core values. Clarity is magnetic, right? And clarity comes from value-aligned embodiment. It's not found in thinking. It's not found in strategizing in pros and cons list. Clarity comes from being in our values, feeling into them, and moving with them. Moving around, seeing how they feel in our body, right? The more you root into your values, the more you become sort of a beacon in a wellspring instead of a seeker of information, of inspiration, of validation, right? Because when you're rooted in your values, you become your own source of fuel. Sure, you get inspired by the world around you, we all do, right? But when you are connected to your values, you play a different game. You're playing the inside out game, where it's the more you connect to yourself and come into your body, the more you have energy and fullness and naturally have inspiration to give the world, right? So magnetism is a natural byproduct of that core value alignment. When your internal world is clear, harmonized, and you are creating space for it to be fully acknowledged, your outer voice will be received in a way where people feel it. People feel the values, people feel your presence, right? And then you get into this beautiful loop, right? Instead of like a negative, vicious cycle, you get into this sort of generosity loop where it's safe to take up space when you're grounded in your truth. The right people receive your truth, so you feel safe taking up more space, you know? And you become a little bit more magnetic because you lean deeper into your values. You follow God's breadcrumbs because you connect to yourself, you expand your nervous system, and good shit starts to happen, so you do more of what feels good. It's simple, but simple is not easy, right? And I really think it's important, like, you know, you're not magnetic because you figured something out. You're magnetic because you're just allowing who you truly are to be seen. You're becoming more of who you deep down know you already are, and you're letting your guard down, right? And this takes a tremendous amount of capacity to stay with yourself, right? Because as you entertain bigger versions, you're going to meet all of those edges that your nervous system is very well aware of, you know? So nervous system, know this, that nervous system expansion is the long game of creative magnetism. Can you stay in your power without collapsing? Can you hold the pose just a moment longer? Can you hold eye contact just a few seconds more? Those are little examples of how we're expanding and strengthening our capacity, right? Learning to hold the frequency of your truth even when others don't get it, misunderstand you, or judge you is one hell of a discipline in practice, but one that is so necessary in helping you become all that you can be. You can think of your nervous system capacity as your safety to hold and be with your own visibility, vulnerability, risk, depth, desire, you name it, the list goes on, you know. This truly is the hidden curriculum of being a powerful creator, and it's exactly why I created the Embodied Creator Toolkit. More on that later, but you can check that out, links in the description. So know that you become magnetic not by figuring something out, by doing more, by cracking a code, by finding out a secret. You purely become magnetic by becoming more of who you actually are, not who you thought you should be, and certainly not who others thought you should be that you believed, right? So if you want to truly become magnetic, you need to stop forcing, you need to focus less on the performative metrics, you need to stop diluting your voice and just expand into your own capacity. Root into your values. Become the version of you that doesn't abandon yourself for likes, comfort, and belonging. And you might find that you get all of the things that you were scared to sacrifice, but tenfold. When you stop abandoning for the like, for the acceptance, you might find that it comes to you in unexpected and more abundant ways. Because let's face it, you don't need to be more likable, you just need to be more you. If there's any secret, that's what it is, right? That's the work, that's the art, that's your practice. So if you're ready to become an embodied magnetic creative, I invite you to check out the Embodied Creator Toolkit. There's all sorts of experiments that you can run that will get you into your body, playing with what feels good in your system, meeting your edges, expanding into them so that you can be a goddamn powerful embodied creator. In the meantime, you can check out my free newsletter. That's a great resource, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.